Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Saturday, September 19th, 2015, around 8:08 in the morning, Belleville, Massachusetts. It's going to be a sunny day, but a little humid for the last few days of summer. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to go out today and get around after having that surgery yesterday to remove my cyst on my head, which is doing good. I have to wait a week before getting the stitches out, but I'm doing better. Some news to report. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Boston Red Sox by the score of 6-1. Blue Jays now have a 4-game lead in the AL East over the New York Yankees because they lost to the New York Mets by the score of 4-1. The Mets have an 8-game lead against the Nationals, and the magic number to clinch the NL East is 8. And also, it's Happy International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So talk like a pirate today, you mates. And also, Heroes and Icons, a digital over-the-air television network, has signed a deal to be on Fox and own and operate affiliates in the major markets like Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Detroit, Orlando, Tampa Bay, and many others will be getting Heroes and Icons on the Fox digital channel in the near future and stuff like that. It's too bad that Fox 25 in Boston is no longer a Fox-owned and operated affiliate. They now have Cox as their owners, and last year Fox 25 in Boston missed out on having Buzzer, where they have classic game shows, and Heroes and Icons, which is a classic television network that shows like action shows. And it's too bad Heroes and Icons are in the Boston area on a low-powered station, Channel 13 in Nashua, New Hampshire. That's about it on the news. My first video blog subject of the day is top 10 list of greatest science fiction television series of all time. This is a very impressive list. Sci-fi television series have been like cult classics and stuff for many years, but now some of them they're very good. Some of them have been critically acclaimed and stuff. And here are the list. Number 10 on this list, the original Battlestar Galactica that lasted on ABC for 1 year, and they had a second season. Galactica 1980. It starred Dirk Benedict, Richard Hatch, and Lawrence Green. It was a great show. It was to capitalize on Star Wars, the movie, but it only lasted a couple of years because production cost $2 million an episode in 1978. It was too much for ABC for it to continue on year after year. Number 9 on this list of the greatest sci-fi television series of all time, Buck Rogers in 25th Century, that lasted 2 years on NBC between 1979 and 1981 with Gil Gerard and Aaron Gray. It was a great television show, sci-fi show, but they changed the format in the second season to resemble more like Star Trek. That's what did that show in. Number 8 on this list of the greatest science fiction television series of all time, The Land of Giants, that lasted 2 seasons on ABC between 1968 and 1970, produced and directed by the late great Irwin Allen, who created several classic sci-fi television series. This was when guys were battling big giants and stuff. It was pretty good. Number 7 on this list of the greatest science fiction television series of all time, Space 1999, which was syndicated. It was actually Britishly produced between 1975 and 1977, starring Martin Landau and Barbara Brain. It was kind of very hip for the time, and it was a cult classic in my opinion. I saw a lot of it. It's a great science fiction series. Number 6 on this list of the greatest sci-fi television series of all time, Lost in Space, which ran for 3 seasons on CBS between 1965 and 1968, produced by Irwin Allen. It was it followed a family called the Robinson family. It was pretty good, and there's a robot that says, "Danger, Will Robinson, Danger, Will Robinson." Number 5 on this list is the greatest science fiction television series of all time, Star Trek The Next Generation, starring Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard. Lasted 7 seasons in syndication. Probably the most famous first one syndicated series of all time. Patrick Stewart was great in his role as Jean-Luc Picard. He took Star Trek Next Generation, took it to the moon and stuff, and it to bring back Star Trek into television in the 1980s. Number 4 on this list of the greatest television science fiction series of all time, the 2000 versions of Battlestar Galactica, which was on Sci-Fi Channel for about 5 years in the 2000s. This show, Battlestar Galactica 2000, critically acclaimed. Some people were saying some of the acting in the Battlestar Galactica in the 2000s was outstanding. Some of the best they've seen on television of all time. I've seen a few of it, and I agree with it and stuff like that. Very, very surprised that they did not put Battlestar Galactica, this version, on NBC in the late 2000s, because sci-fi is part of the NBC Universal family and stuff like that. And if they put Battlestar Galactica on NBC, I bet Battlestar Galactica will probably be a top 10 show on NBC on television and stuff like that, because NBC was ratings challenged back in the 2000s and stuff. But they had their reasons. Number 3 on this list of the greatest science fiction television series of all time, The X-Files, which lasted 9 seasons on Fox, starring David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, Scully, and Mulder. They were finding the unexpected, the unknown stuff. It was a great science fiction show and stuff. It's now coming back as a limited series on Fox, but I don't know if it's going to be good as the original one. They made 2 movies of it, which was actually pretty good, even though I hardly watched the television series. These 2 movies were outstandingly great. Number 2 on this list of the greatest science fiction television series of all time, the anthology The Twilight Zone, that lasted 5 years on CBS from 1959 through 1964, created and hosted by Rod Sterling. It was a great sci-fi drama one about the unexpected and stuff, and it was one of the best science fiction series of all time. They try to make remakes of the Twilight Zone in the 80s and 2000s as a regular television series, but it wasn't as good as the original and stuff. And this, like the Twilight Zone, is something that never should be rebooted or revived again, because the original was the best. And number 1 on this list of the greatest science fiction television series of all time, the original Star Trek, that was on NBC from 1966 through 1969, starring William Shatner as James T. Kirk, Leonard Nimoy as Spock, DeForest Kelley as Dr. McCoy Bones, and James Duvey as Scotty, and Lieutenant Uhura, who was played by Nichelle Nichols, and a few others. This was the greatest science fiction television series of all time. It only lasted 3 years on NBC because it was lowly rated and stuff like that. People wanted to see it on the air when it got canceled, and immediately went into reruns on television stations throughout the country that got so popular. Star Trek convention and stuff. In 1979, it became a motion picture, and they had so many sequels to it, so many spin-offs for television series and stuff, which the Star Trek brand is 50 years and still going strong. Probably one of the most successful brands of any television series of all time. That's about it on that. I'll be back one more time today with my review of Fall Brawl 1993 for WCW pay-per-views. I'm going to be doing Fall Brawl pay-per-views for the next few days and stuff like that, because I'm reviewing them in October. It's going to be about Halloween Havoc, and I'll be back later on. I'm going to be getting back into the routine of doing 2 to 3 video blogs a day. See you later. Keep calm, and I'm a Julie Butter guy. Molly Rosenblatt, a Fox 35 Rocks and has nice legs, and the words of Sean Lucia, get out. Bye now.